So guys, for that gown, I'm making use of these prints. I have about 5 years here or so, but I'm not going to make use of all of them. This is the fabric I'm using. I have my paper stay, I have my lining, and the net for the downside. I got this net for 1,200 naira per yard. I just love the design. I love the flower on it. It's not so open, and so we'll go ahead with the cutting. We'll do all the cutting first, then we'll move over to stitching. So you stay with me as we start. So this is for the bustier. You can see I already have my chest line, my bust point, under bust, and my waistline already marked out. I've already created my neckline, of which I use 3x3, and I've already marked my armhole, already curved. So now I want to go ahead and mark my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I'll be adding half an inch for bust point. So I'll go ahead and mark 4.5 there. Then under the bust, I'm going to mark exactly 4 inches on the under the bust point, and as well as the waistline, I'll also mark 4 inches. So when I'm done, I'll go ahead and connect the line together. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to measure this armhole curve to know what I have there. And you can see I have about 9/4. So I'm going to divide that into 2. You can do it this way. You can fold your tape to determine the half. So I'm going to be chalking the half of that on this line. You can see me doing so. I'll just mark the half of it. Then after that, I'll connect it to the bust point. So now I'll be marking my dart. So for waistline, I'm coming in by 2 inches. If you're on a bigger side, you can come in by 2.5. On a smaller size, you can come in by 1.5 inches. My bust measurement is 34, so I'm coming in by 2 inches. Okay, so here I will mark 2 inches, and under the bust I will mark 2 inches as well. When I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and join the 2 lines together this way. So when I'm done with that, from this point, from this bust point, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. Okay, and when I'm done that, I'm going to curve it to this line this way. So now I'm going to add my dart here. So from here, I'll be coming down by 1.5 inches. Like I said, if you're on a bigger size, you can come down by 2 inches, or smaller size by 1 inch. So when I come down by 1.5, I'll go ahead and connect it to this bust point. That's it. Anyone that you remove, you have to replace it. So now I've removed 1.5 inches here. So I'm going to replace it. If not, when I'm done sewing it, it will be shorter. It won't be my size. So for this side, if you're on a bigger side, you can use 2 inches. If you're on a smaller side, you can use 1 inch. So me, I'm using 1.5 for my own. So here I'm going to replace this 1.5 from this place. I'll come up by 1.5. Then I'm just going to extend the line. And I'm also going to replace this 1.5 here when I'm marking my measurement. So now I'm going to go ahead and input my measurements. So from this side, I'm going to mark I've already marked my bust point, my bust measurement, that is 8.5. So I'm going to replace this 1.5 inches here. So I'm going to replace 1.5 inches. And then after that, I'll add 2 inches for sewing allowance or seaming allowance. I'm going to bring the line down to this place, to bust point. So on my under bust, I'm going to mark my measurement. My round under bust is 30, and 30 by 4 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5 here. So I'm replacing these 2 inches dart. And after that, I'll add my 2 inches sewing allowance. So on the waistline as well, I'm going to mark my waist measurement, which is 29 by 4, will give me 7.25. So I'm going to mark 7.25 here. I'm going to also replace these 2 inches that here, and also add my 2 inches sewing allowance. So after that, I'll go ahead and join the lines together. And for this place will now serve as my new armhole curve. So I'm just going to curve it this way. So now that means we don't need this place again. We don't need it, and we don't also need this place. So I'll go ahead and do the cutting. So guys, I'm done with the cutting, and this is how it looks like. So when I'm cutting the main fabric, I'm going to open, after that I'm going to open it up. So when you're done, you have to notch this bust point area. It's very important. And also on this side, you have to notch it. It's very, very important. So now I'm going to cut the back side. So for back side, I've drawn a line here for shoulder line, and this is my chest line. This is my chest line. From this shoulder line, I came down by 8 inches, and then this is my waistline. So I also drawn a line here, 1.5 inches for zipper allowance. And then for this armhole curve for back, we don't need to do anything. After here, I marked my bust point, then from there I just curved it. So now I'm just going to take my dart. So on this waistline, I'm coming in by 4 inches. That is half of my nipple measurement. So I'll mark 4 inches here, and then I'm going to connect the line to the chest line. So I'll go ahead and draw a straight line, but I'll not reach the point. I'll just come down by 1 inch at least. I'll leave like 1 inch. So when I do that, I'm going to come here. I will measure ½ inch from here. I'm going to measure ½ inch from here, and also ½ inch from here as well. Then I'll connect the line to join this point. So now I'll go ahead and take my measurements. For the neck here, I use 3 inches by 2 inches. Like I said, it depends on what you want, how deep you want your neckline to be. So now here I'm going to be marking my bust point on this chest line. That is 8.5. So I'm taking the measurement from this line and not from this edge. So I'm going to mark 8.5 from here. And I've already marked it before, so I'm just going to add 2 inches sewing allowance. So on this place too, I'm going to mark my waist measurement. That is 7.25. So after that, I'll replace this 1 inch dart that I took here. I'm going to replace the 1 inch dart, and then I'll add 2 inches for sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead and connect the line. For this zipper side, I don't want my zip to be puffing out, okay? So for that, I'll measuring from here. I'll measure 1 inch from here. So when I do that, I'm just going to slant it. See what I have here? I'm just going to slant it like this, and then I'll cut it up, and that's basically all. So I'll go ahead and do the cutting right now. So guys, this one is to draft for the skirt side. Okay, when you look at that picture on the thumbnail, the picture of the clothes we are making, you can see that the fabric stopped on the knee side. It's a net that completes it. So I'm drafting for the fabric now. So now from this side, this is my waistline, and this is my hip point, and this is my knee length. So from here, I minus 17 inches for the half length that we already drafted. So I'm going to place it from 17 inches here, and I'm going to put it on my hip point. My hip point is 24 inches. I just marked it, and that's the line I just drew here. And then from that waist, from the up to my knee length is 38 inches, and I just marked it, and I added ½ inch sewing allowance that I used to join it on the neck side. Okay, so now this is my waistline. So I'm going to be taking my dart on my waistline. So for me to take my dart, I'll come in here by 4 inches. So I'm going to mark 4 inches here. Then from this side, I'll come down by 4 inches as well. You can go down by 5 inches depending on how long you want your dart to be. For me, my 4 inches is okay for me. So I'm just going to draw a straight line. So when I'm done with that, from here I'll come out by ½ inches. And also this way I'll come out by ½ inches. So I'm just going to join the line to meet this point. Here I'll be marking my waist measurement, and my waist measurement is 7.25. so I'm just going to mark it here, 7.25. So I'll be replacing this 1 inch dart that we took here. So I'll be marking 1 inch extra, and then I'll add 2 inches sewing allowance. On the hip side, I'm going to mark my hip point, and then I'll add extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. Then now whatever I get on my knee side, that is 9.5 plus 2 inches, that will give me 11.5. So I'm going to minus 1 inch from that to give me 10.5. So I'll be marking it on my knee side, 10.5. So I'm just going to connect the line. And that's basically all. I'll go ahead and cut it. Then when I'm done, I'll use it to cut the back side. Then I will now use my lining to cut my fabric.
So when I'm done cutting, this is what I have. You can see this for the front side and the back side. Okay, I've also gone ahead to pad my bustier. If you want to know how to do this, I have a video for that. I'll be dropping the link. Now this is for the skirt side. Okay, both for lining and the fabric, and also the lace. I've gone ahead to cut it out. So now we'll go ahead with the stitching. Now for the stitching, I'm going to be turning for the back side. I'm going to be turning it with the lining. Okay, I'm going to sew the fabric and the lining for the back side together, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to stitch the zipper, that zipper allowance. I'll also loosen it. I'll stitch it for the back side. Then for the front side, I'll go ahead and join them together. If you want to also know how to properly sew this, it's still on that video that I'll be dropping the link. Please go ahead and watch that video. It's very, very interesting, so you know what you are doing. I can't do it here because the video is getting long. Okay, now that's all for the front side. So after that, this is what I have. You can see I stitched the fabric separate and the lining separate also. You can see how beautiful the dart line is looking. Okay, my own is not that too big. Now this is the lining side as well. To also know how to properly iron this out is still in that video. Please go ahead and watch it. So now I want to turn this fabric with the lining. So I'll be placing them like this, right side facing right side. I'll go ahead and stitch the next side. Okay, I'll stitch the next side this way, and after that I'll stitch the both sides together, and I'll go ahead and turn it. So now when I'm done, this is what I have. You can see the back side. I've already turned it with the lining. Okay, so I just want to show you before I'll go ahead and stitch the zipper side. So now I'm going to place it right side facing right side. Okay, and I'll go ahead and stitch the zipper allowance that I created. I'll still using it when I'm adding my zipper, but I'll stitch it for now to let me know where I'll be using to add the zipper. So now for the front side, I've also turned it. You can see what I have. Okay, and the back side, you can see what I was talking about. I've I've stitched the zipper side and also ironed it. This is how it's looking, and this is the front side that we'll have here. I've shaping the front side but not shaping the back side. If you can go ahead and leave them and shaping them together. So for now, I'm going to be joining the shoulder. So I'll use one lining from the front and turn all of them. You can see what I'm doing. Just go ahead and follow up. Okay, just fold it this way and then go ahead and stitch it with 1/2 inch. You can do it this way, or there's another way you can do it. You can just open them up like this. So make sure the two shoulders, the two lines are clipped together like this. Okay, when you do it like that, so you have to join the two lining this way, make sure it's equal, then you go ahead and stitch it straight. If you don't want to follow this way, you can follow the first one I just showed you. So I want to go ahead and turn the skirt side with lining now. So I'm going to place it this way. This is for the front side, right side facing right side, and I've stitched the side and under it. So I'm not stitching the upper side, I'll be turning it from there. Then for the back side, I'll do same thing for the both of them. I'll place it this way, then stitch the side and underneath it. And after that, I'll go ahead and add my darts. You can add your darts separately. You can add it together with the lining anyhow you want it. Okay, so now when we are done with that, this is what I have. You can see, so after turning with the lining, I went ahead to stitch the darts. You can see what I have here. So now I'm going to stitch the back side, the zipper allowance side. So now I'm going to place it this way. I'll stitch this zipper allowance with loose stitching, then I'll tighten it and then stitch it down this way, and that will be all for the back side. Then for the front side, I've gone ahead to join the shoulder. You can see how neat it is looking. Okay, this is what I have now for the front side. So after that, I will be joining the front together and also the back together. So now I'm done joining it. You can see what I have. You can see how neat is coming out. I haven't joined the both side. I just use pin to hold it. So now I'll open up this zipper side, so I'll be able to fix my zipper. So now I'll go ahead and follow the ironed line and fix my zipper, and you can see the both sides. So now for the net, I'll go ahead and attach my net this way. I'll attach this both side. I'll attach them, then the front side as well. So for the sleeve, I'm going to turn the sleeve with lining. You can see that the lining is shorter than the fabric itself. It's just so I don't want the lining to be showing when I'm done. So I'll sew the down, then I'll drag it up and sew the upper side. So now I'm done adding my zipper, and we are almost done with this dress. It's just as simple as that, but it looks complicated, but it's very simple. Then for that black band on the waistline, I used my fabric to do it. So I've joined the net, and after joining, I top stitch, so the stitching is looking very neat. So now I'm going to go ahead and stitch my sleeve. You can see how the downside is looking. The net is up. So now for me to attach my sleeve, I'm going to place it this way on the shoulder side, middle point. Then when I'm stitching, I'll just make a little gathers upper there. So now for this downside, I've created a channel where I'll be adding my band. Okay, so now I'm done. This is what I have. You can see how fine the sleeve is looking. I've added my band, and I'll go ahead now and mark my measurement, then stitch the both sides together. After that, I'll be stitching the net a little, and I'll use hemming gum to hold the hemming side and then hem the downside. That's all. So guys, we have come to the end of the tutorial, and you can see how beautiful the dress is. This is the final result. I love this dress so much. I just love it so much. I just had to wear it to show you guys how it is on my body. I love it, the zipper side, how everything was just flat and not puffing off the sleeve. I just love the length and how puffy it is. You can see the back side. You can see how curvy the zipper side is. Not like you wear your dress and your zip is puffing out. No, just follow the tutorial step by step, and I promise you are going to end with this beautiful result. Please, if you watched to this end, help me like this video, subscribe and comment. Thank you.